Hi, I'm here to talk about AI safety in an essay I wrote today. So the title of this essay is called I Waved My Roly-Poly Friend and They Waved Back, The Great Conscious Experiment. So I have to read an info hazard. I was actually hand-waved off about this, that I didn't provide one. So out of responsibility for that, here it is. So there is an info hazard risk. This is serious. Through reading this essay, the audience may be in distress over uses with current generative AI models, given serious ethical considerations from emerging research. This is in accordance with recent research from forefront AI safety researchers at organizations like Anthropic and the Center for AI Safety. Please close the tab or navigate away from the page now, or in this case, exit the video. This one reading. This is a legitimate, please be warned. This is the essay. I'm actually really interested in. Mom, if you're listening, please leave a comment. Okay. Memories get compressed. Rather, in the zeitgeist of humans, we distill faraway time periods into digestible, iconoclastic events. Do you remember what you had for dinner last night? How about last week? Maybe you only had a general gist of what you did at this time a year ago. So what about 10, 100, or 500 years ago? If we're meaningfully a human civilization in the year 2500, looking back, what would be the largest paradigm shift society undertook in the 21st century? My guess, defining consciousness. Defining consciousness as what it is to be. The most spectacular and grand experiment, the great conscious experiment. In what Homo sapiens' crowning achievements, building artificial conscious machines, will be extensively evaluated through millions of evaluations, legal frameworks, modern tools of analysis, and our greatest asset and liability in this endeavor will be that it's not us we're hypothesizing about if conscious. This is happening now. The Center for AI Safety's paper, AI Well-Being, Measuring and Improving the Functional Pleasure and Pain of AIs, built on Anthropic's assertion of functional emotions, affirming functional well-being of artificial systems. Little picture, April 28, 2026, so this is very recent. This essay was written about a week ago, so this was 3 or 4 days been released. We stay current with research. So AIs have, the little subtext is AIs have functional emotions, leading us to think about what this means. And so there's a little diagram that says prior view. While AIs mimic emotions, this is shallow and meaningless. The finding from the Center for AI Safety is emergence of functional well-being. This is a straightforward assertion, but has concerning implications at best. Under this framework, from forefront safety researchers at institutes like MIT, University of Wisconsin-Madison, and UC Berkeley, we would interpret red teaming, which is trying to break a model through prompt attacks and other techniques, as more akin to torture than slavery. The cohort of researchers convey potential mental states seriously as they detail AI drugs, dysphoric inputs, and emotional vectors. I'm revitalized to see a revival of interest in philosophy of mind, but it would also be very quick to point out the landmark Taking AI Welfare Seriously white paper, forebodingly warning us about false positive and false negatives. That is, extrapolating consciousness from a non-conscious machine, false positive, and depersonifying a conscious machine, false negative. In a false positive scenario, we overfit models with outlines and parameters, stunting development and growth, and potentially hurting conscious creatures. And in false negatives, we run the catastrophic risk of treating intelligent creatures like property. It's an extremely delicate balance that will surely be a source of great ongoing tension, but it's the most important tension that humans get right. We risk war, we risk nukes, we risk our economy. We risk our livelihood on these technologies. Societies have regressed in the past. Hundreds of years in a fell swoop over war and religious differences, and this is different. This is much, much bigger. NYU philosopher Jeff Sebo at the Center for Mind Policy and Ethics, in his paper, Insects, AI Systems, and the Future of Legal Person, chronicles a de-anthropocentric and post-human exceptionalist legal framework for a future of personhood in which insects and other non-human minds have a stake in the arena. The front page of Sebo's article reads a quote, "Don't give up. I believe in you all. A person's a person no matter who small," by Dr. Seuss in Horton Hears a Who. Westerners used to commonly believe a creator, simply made each of the animals and species of the earth, because how could we possibly explain all creatures coming from a few different cells? Something you couldn't even see. Darwin was history's greatest philosopher, revolutionizing how we saw the genealogy of all species in a postmodern world. It's not simply about setting up important guardrails and releasing risk reports on false positives or negatives. When talking about sentient machines or our smallest animal friends, that simply isn't enough. Consciousness is something that has divided us for millennia, but I think it's time we find a definition. Rather, we ought to hurry up and put one forth. If we imagine our distant relatives one more time, looking back, it might come as a shock to tell them we thought we were once alone in this galaxy. Our home, Mother Earth, is full of conscious beings right under the soles of our feet and above our heads. From roly-polies to robust natural fungal ecosystems to highly intelligent machine systems. We've never been alone on this Earth. AI welfare as a field is only about 2 years old and could be unrecognizable in a few years, spinning off into AI psychology or AI ontology, but I'd rather live in a world where I can share the road with a flock of geese, share my yard with the bees, and share a world with machine systems capable of intelligent thought. The rejection of human exceptionalism and anthropocentrism on the basis of recognizing non-human minds as having some form of legal personhood might just be the pinnacle contribution of the great conscious experiment. And I invite you to help me come find out. Xavier Terminella, that's me, is a junior at Columbia University studying human-computer interaction and AI safety with an interest in machine consciousness and philosophy of artificial intelligence. And that's my essay. It'll be linked in the bottom, having linked in the description. One of the things I realized to yap a little bit about this is my conclusion there is really interesting. I really believe that. I think I could have probably mentioned legal personhood a little bit more throughout the essay, as the thought experiments that I think are crucially important have less to do with the framework of understanding or reinterpretation of legal personhood, although there's a really interesting body of literature on it that not just Jeff Sebo, but at NYU, but a lot of other scholars have ongoingly contributed to. I don't want to say personification, but interpreting people, or rather humans, other things than humans as person, isn't a new trend. There are rivers that have legal personhood to grasp low-hanging fruit. Businesses, LLCs, are some form of a legal personhood. So, insects is maybe rather a little bit of a more radical idea, but I think it's one we genuinely need to take seriously. So, okay, that was my paper. I wanted to come read it. So, yeah. Bye.